Hey there, it's Teresa McGarry with Money Talk. I wanted to tell you a little bit about teaching our first class at Mosaic a couple weeks ago. We worked on bank accounts with them, and so they had their sample checkbook, and we did a little bit with the register and the checks and the deposits, and they had a blast. I was told that with these individuals, I needed to expect that about every 5 or 10 minutes, they're going to need to get up, that they can't sit still, they can't their attention span just isn't that long. So that's what I went in for. So we went and we did our register, and we went over, and I started like I did with the other kids and had them read the column heading, and the first thing I heard was I can't read, so change that. And so we went through here, and then I asked them, okay, so are you ready to get up and wiggle and jiggle and stretch? And they said, no, keep going. Okay. So then I asked them if they wanted to do a check or a deposit slip. So they wanted to do a check. So we did our checks. Most of them did really, really well. And so we went through here and we talked about how to write out the check and everything. And then, as expected, I asked them, so are you ready? Let's get up and do some jumping jacks. Thinking that, okay, surely by now they've got to stretch and they've got to wiggle and they've, I'm going to be losing them. All I heard was, no, keep going. Okay. So then we did a deposit slip. A little bit trickier for them, but they got it. They did really well. So we went through that, and they were still sitting in their chair, paying attention, participating. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I was told about every 5 to 10 minutes. That's all the attention span you're going to have. They're not going to be able to sit still. And here it's been over an hour and a half, and they have not moved once. There was one gentleman that got a little fidgety a couple of times, but he never got up. This gentleman, for the sake of confidentiality, I'll call him Ted. I had told the class that we were going to do the bank account activity like I do with the other schools and everything. I taught the first part on Tuesday, and we were going to do the bank account part on Thursday. So I told them we're going to do a game with these checkbooks where you get to pick your rent and your groceries and decide where you want to travel and all that, and we're going to do that on Thursday. Well, this Ted young man, he told me he has to work on Thursday. I have to come on Tuesdays. I'm like, I'm sorry, Ted. I'm scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday, so we're going to play the game on Thursday. He says, I work on Thursday. You're coming on Tuesday. No, Ted, I'm sorry. I'm scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday. We have to play it on Thursday. He says, no, you're coming every Tuesday. And the program coordinator, that my main contact, is Tanika. Really cool name. I know somebody else with a name really close to that. So I told him, I said, well, you need to ask Miss Tanika if I can come back. To which he informed me, I am going to be there every Tuesday. Like, you need to ask Miss Tanika if it's okay if I come back. So anyway, this was wonderful. I mean, not only was I told 5 to 10 minute attention span, and they were there for over an hour and a half and didn't move. They were paying attention the entire time. I mean, even the staff was like, wow, this is amazing. They're, usually 5-10 minutes and I've lost their attention. But they're wanting me to come back. So as everybody was kind of getting ready to go, I asked them all, as Mr. Ted here was trying to tell me when I was coming back, because I guess he had a great time. I asked them, I said, did you have fun? And they're all like, yeah, we had a lot of fun. And I'm thinking, okay, they were there in the moment, they had fun. It was great. So I told them I'd see them on Thursday, and I shooed them on out the door, and I started cleaning up the room. Well, when I got out of the room, I was not able to find Tanika. She was in the middle of working on something else, and so I contacted another staff member and just kind of gave him my perception and my observations on how the class went, and kind of told him about that conversation. And what he told me was the students in the class, they came out of the class showing everybody that was sitting around that they got a checkbook, and they were so excited, and they were showing everybody what they had written in there. And everybody was out in the main area that had not participated was wanting to know why they didn't get to participate, why they didn't get to have checkbooks. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. They were pretty excited about that response that the students, that these adults had with this. So Thursday came. I ended up with 2 of the individuals that I had on Tuesday, and the other 3 were not people I had on Tuesday. So that added a little. Plus, I didn't have any volunteers who were able to come down. But then again, it's during the day, during the week. It's kind of hard. So we did what we could do, and they did as much as they could do. One of the individuals, all I could get him to do was write his name. So I had him sign the check and told him that when I used to work at the grocery store, I'd have people sign their check and I'd write the rest of it for them. And then I'd show it to them so that they knew I was writing what they wanted me to write. And that there were other ways that we could do this, but I just had them do as much as they could do. And they all had a lot of fun. And there was actually one young man and woman who had done their, not an official get married ceremony, but they had done a little ceremony within Mosaic. And as far as they were concerned, they were married. And so there was a lot of fun and goofing around there. They had a blast. Of course you're taking me out to dinner. Well, you better bring me flowers. And just anyway, they just had a great time teasing each other about all the stuff that they had planned and where they wanted to go vacation and how much groceries they were going to buy, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're not scheduled to go back yet. I need to meet with Tanika and get something scheduled, but I wanted to share with you that they had a blast. And while they may not be able to manage their bank account totally on their own, they did really appreciate and enjoy getting to learn about the same kinds of things that everybody else learns about, feeling like they're being treated the same as everybody else, even though they have a disability. And hopefully now they can do a little bit more for themselves than they would have before. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Bye-bye.